Welcome in, welcome in, welcome once again to the newest edition of 3 In, 3 Out, the most unique Seahawks recap show in the multiverse. I'm your host, Clinton Bonner. I am joined by the one, the only, the great BrandIN Schultz. BrandIN, about once a decade, we get to do something very, very special, very unique on 3 In, 3 Out. We get to celebrate like it's 1999, BrandIN. Do you know what we get to do today after our Seahawks get the 26-0 victory versus the hapless Minnesota Vikings?
We get to produce our first very own 6 Ins show as per the rules that you've set up. And here we go. It's oops, all ins. I know this is something that you've wanted to do. You've even done it outside of the rules, but you get to do it for real this time, buddy.
I do. We get to do it for real. I'm so excited. It was great. We had people in the Discord, people in the Seahawkers pod Ring of Honor on Facebook, people on Twitter being like, oh my gosh, it's all in. So people are ready for it. I'm ready for it. Look, this is the type of game. We're not going to talk about outs because, hey, there's a rule, but this is the type of game where there were plenty of outs. I was like, oh man, this out ledger is actually pretty full.
It would have been full.
It's overflowing. But at the end of the day, it's a lovely performance. And then people did ask too, hey, is it going to be all defense? No, it's not all defense. So stick around.
Ooh.
We've got 6 awesome ins. We've got the BrandIN. We've got From the Flock. We've got a brand new MVC. It's going to be an action-packed show. BrandIN, I'm ready to rock and roll. And looks like Amy is too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Amy Holmes looking forward to it too. EJ4 is a blessing. Thank you to the Lambs for being stingy. Yeah, if not for the Rams passing on. How do you pass up on a linebacker like Ernest Jones? I guess we'll never know. We just be happy about it. I'm also happy about Shane Turner Acoustic coming in with a $2.99 Australian super chat. A big thanks to Shane. And also we've got our live executive producer, Ryan911, with a $9.99 super chat in to Clinton for helping to manifest this shutout with all the extra ins you've brought in past weeks. You, sir. Better at life.
I love that so much. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Shane. You guys are, you continue to be the best. And the fact that I believe Ryan's up in Alaska. And the closest thing that I could put to Alaska is Australia, where Shane is. Like, it's just amazing that we have flockers across the continental 48, across the 50, all the way over in Europe, in Australia, everywhere. We got Asia, we got flockers everywhere, and we're all ready to celebrate. I do want to tell a very quick story that this episode was in jeopardy because on Saturday, after we wrapped our other show, I was producing I don't know when it was, but either way, the moral of the story is you don't want to spill a third of a raspberry White Claw all over your laptop, BrandIN. It turns out that's bad. You shouldn't pour that all over your laptop by accident.
If there's any rules to this show, I think we've covered them pretty well. But one rule that maybe we haven't covered with laptops, it's do not pour White Claws on them.
It sounded and looked like an 80s cartoon. There was like the computer got really loud, and then there was like, I was like, oh no. And of course the beverage itself is carbonated, so that could have contributed to it. I did all the things you're supposed to do. It's not working yet, but I got a brand new laptop, so working out the kinks, and that's why we were a little bit late today too. But
you saw that the Cyber Monday deals were coming up, and you're like, oops.
Well, that is what we call a segue, right? We'll go right into this. It is going to be the 3 In, 3 Out oops all ins episode. It's going to be a lot of fun, so we're excited for that. And I had a lot of fun making that little thumbnail there as well. And of course, we want folks out there, if you are watching live, first and foremost, share this with 1212s. We think it's going to be a delightful show. Who doesn't want to celebrate a 26-0 victory? We are going to look at some film and like, subscribe. Y'all been hyping the videos a lot lately. That helps a ton. But everything you can do there, it truly does help a lot. All right, BrandIN. I think we don't. The sticky note be damned. We don't need it. It's oops all ins. Let's hit that whammy.
I mean, if people need a refresher, when we win, we start with an in.
Right.
When we get a shutout, we go all ins.
There you go. Thank you. That is correct. And every single week, it's, as I spill things along my desk, I lose that sticky note. I forget the rules, but this time I remember because there's not even a rule. It's all ins. It's super simple. All right. So I'm going to call this one ham stuffing. So we're still kind of getting out of the stuffing season, right? Q1, I think it says 507. Let me actually pinch in a bit because my peepers aren't on. 507, 1st and 10, Minnesota on the Minnesota 26. They got the ball. It's a 0-0 game. Ham stuffing. Where do you think we might be headed?
Well, the Vikings do have a delicious player on their team named CJ Ham. Are we talking about Drake London putting in the stuffing?
Well, it could be Drake London or it might be Drake Thomas. Either way.
Thomas, yeah, probably
okay.
Not Drake London. He's not on our team.
You know where you got that from? Somebody in our Discord said that Drake Thomas is the new London Fletcher. So maybe you subconsciously.
I don't know how I can
that.
forget Drake Thomas when his nickname is right in the middle of his name.
I love it. All right, so we're gonna roll these through. I can't highlight them today. Again, some technical difficulties, but we'll pause right here. You can see Drake Thomas because he's the white linebacker that's right there. So the linebacker that's bouncing, on the left-hand side. What we're gonna watch here is it's for in 3 and 3 out. If this is your first time with us. It's even if it's a splashy play, it's the kind of thing that that allowed for the splashy play. So for this early run, what I loved, BrandIN, was our run defense was awesome, all game long. But look at the way Drake Thomas first finds where he's going to go through, penetrate. We're going to look at the all 22 version in a second too, the Madden version. And look at the way he decides where he's going to go. Attacks Ham, and because of his success, this ends up for a run of no gain. By the way, we could have done like 6 highlights of just Drake Thomas being really good at football. There was a lot. Chose this one to start us out, but here we go. Boom. Meets him in the hole. I'll have to do a little bit of this, just rewind a little bit manually today, but he destroys this. And we pull the next one up. You can see Drake here. Even kind of better angle too. This is just such good football, man. Taking on a fullback, a big fullback. BrandIN, take it away, dude. What do you like and that you're seeing, and how do you like your ham stuff?
Well, he is unblocked through the gap there, which when you're playing with a team with a fullback, that's to be expected because that's what the fullback's there for. He's there to go and pick up a linebacker who may be coming blocked into the backfield. And so he does his job. He just does it poorly because Drake Thomas is so much better, and Thomas stands him up, and which is pretty impressive. Again, I think there's an example every single week of Drake Thomas and his strength. And CJ Ham is not a small dude. He is a very powerful fullback. And he runs into Drake Thomas and goes nowhere. He stops, and that's why I love Drake.
Yeah, I like this angle, toggling between both of them. The cool part, pause it right there. Look how quick he is to get the depth he wants to get. So he's dictating the entire play, which is what I love about this. And
you can almost see the fear in CJ's eyes as he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to." Now I'm going to have to work here.
I got to take on this crazy compact missile, right? So, CJ Ham is only 2 yards upfield with very little momentum by the time, and Drake is 4 yards. He's basically like double the momentum is what I'm trying to say when he makes contact with Ham. Completely blows this up. Great start to the game. And this was a couple of series in, but great start by our defense. Obviously, it continued throughout the entire day. I was bummed that Chenna got robbed of the first sack of the game because that was so ticky-tacky, and Chenna deserved that one. But then Leo comes right back and gets his, so that was pretty cool. All right, so that's in number 1. We got lots of ins. Oops, it's all ins. Why don't we take it and get to in number 2? Whammy. All right, perfect. All right, so look, sometimes I like to leave hard to trace clues. Sometimes it's a little more easy into Q2 14-18. Remember, this was a 0-0 game after the first quarter. It was kind of sluggish and slow. This is Seahawks had the ball, 2nd and 4. Seattle's on Minnesota's 47, and I'm calling this one Cooper Recovery. So, some
You
mild
had to work
breakdowns.
kind of hard on this one to get Cup's last name in there.
Yeah, a little bit of overtime there, but so I think you probably understand what this one is. The thing I would love for folks to see is how the distance that Cup has to travel to make this fumble recovery. There's some stuff. I know it's an oops all ends. We're going to go to the dark side a little bit on this one because heard some other Seahawks pundits out there that are like, oh, Sam's got to not fumble. It's like, well,
was that Adam?
No, not even. It really wasn't. Adam actually was very well. Adam's usually very fair, and he was actually very, very like, no, I think Sam did pretty well considering what he faced. It was actually a couple others like, Sam's just got to hold on to the ball. It's a little too much fumbling. It's like, okay, but also it's super cool if you give the due time. What I want folks to focus on, besides Cup here, is look, Sam tries to step up in the pocket. There's a reason he can't, and while Cross is beaten. Cross is almost not the culprit here because he does get his guy so far outside that if there is a pocket to step up into, I think Sam would have been okay. So we'll let that roll. But Cup to the rescue, and it's a good thing. You'll see Cup really just sprint in here. Whoa. Cup covers a lot of ground. So I know I'm asking folks to look at who's getting pushed back in the pocket, but also like, we joke and say Cup can't move anymore, but when Cup gets a chance to get yak, the dude goes and gets yak. When Cup has to do a 10-yard sprint and put his body on the line, which I've been critical of a ex-Seahawk who's no longer here, who stopped putting his body on the line about 3 years ago, who I love, but the facts are the facts. Cup puts his body on the line when it mattered most. So loving what we saw from Cup, great angle here. He's like, that's mine. We retain the ball. It's big because, we just couldn't start that slippery slope of turnovers. And this really helped to keep things in our favor, BrandIN.
Yeah. And for those of you not watching the video, the culprit there as to why Sam cannot move up into the pocket, it is because Gray Zabel was put on skates by the defensive tackle there, big number 97, Javon Hargrave, someone who we were very familiar with when he was with the San Francisco 49ers. So, he gets pushed way back into the pocket. And, on the bottom side of the screen, you got Cooper Kupp just kind of running a little bit of an in, kind of a short in. But as soon as he sees that football on the ground, he is attacking it, and thank goodness for it too, because if they happen to get the ball here, they're at midfield. They've taken over the momentum a little bit, and for Kupp to go in there and pick up that recovery, yes, very nice to see by him.
Yeah, and it is, and I love, Darnold did have an outlet here. He could have maybe threw it to the flat, but it's just difficult because he doesn't have a second. He just doesn't have that extra beat where he could just look because he just has somebody right in his face. And look, I think Zabel is a solid rookie and obviously has improved this team a ton. And when you watch Zabel move horizontally versus Bradford, there's zero comparison. That we understand why they took Zabel. He's athletic, and in this system, it really works quite well. And the run game really got cooking again this week. With that, this is where he's being exposed. This is where but the nice part, another thing you and Adam talk about a lot is hey, one of the things you could actually change, you're not going to, all of a sudden Bradford's not going to get horizontally more agile. That's just not going to happen at this age. But if you go from NDSU and you get into a weight program, like a pro program, even if it doesn't matter if it's Ohio State or NDSU, but you get into a pro program and then your second off season, which is really your first off season, that's what you focus on. You can put on power, you put on pounds and put on the power to not have this be a regular occurrence, right? So, but let's keep it on the positive. I did see Car earlier say that I love slandering Lockett. I don't love slandering Lockett. I do have a disdain for the Cup hate. And when he does things like this, I think there's other players. I think he's doing some good work. So I do like calling him out. I love Tyler Lockett as a Seahawk. And the last couple of years, I was a little bit angry that he wouldn't go forward. So it is what it is. All right.
You just hate Seahawks legends because you were over on Bobby Wagner too, because he couldn't cover dudes over the middle. And I think we ended up seeing him get exposed too against the Broncos last night, unfortunately. But not unfortunate is Shane Turner Acoustic coming in with another $2.99 donation saying no ads and live stream bonus. Yes, if you've ever seen an ad, that's not it's not us. We don't turn the ads on when we're going live. Now, after we're done and produce the show, yeah, you might see some. But you know what? The YouTube Premium it's a glorious, glorious thing as well.
Right, absolutely. All right, that means for us, we are up on in number 3. It's all ins. Let's make it happen. Oh, these make me laugh. All right. So in number 3, again, this is, by the way, this is not Pave by Abe, although that might be a cool cologne for the holiday season. It is in 3, Pave by Abe. Q2, 9:55 to go. Still a 0-0 ball game. 3rd and 3. Seattle is on Minnesota's 13-yard line. BrandIN, when it's 3rd and 3, what do I routinely say when you're in the other team's zone and it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3? What do I routinely say we really ought to be doing with the football?
Yeah, it's an ideal time to run the football because 3rd and 3, the defense is probably about 50-50 on whether you're going to pass or whether you're going to run. And if you want to be that physical, dominant, downhill football team that you say builds that type of identity, then 3rd and 3 is a good time to do it because the defense, they may be at a little bit of a disadvantage, not knowing whether or not you will run or pass. And then as an offense, you have the benefit too of, hey, if you pick up 2 yards, go for it on 4th and 1. And they've been pretty good about getting that 1 yard when they've needed it.
Yeah, very, very well said. It is what I like to do. And you know, frankly, I think you, Adam, Phil, many of the flockers out there, you know, we like our we like our women hot and our beer cold, right? And or another version, our food hot and our beer cold, and our football, we like it tough. We like running the football on 3rd and 3. So what we got here, we call it the Pave by Abe. So check out the right-hand side. It's gonna be a little don't love the shotgun draws, but beggars can't be choosers. Watch the hole that Abe, he does some work here. So this is just some glory to Abe Lucas 72. Look at the hole he opens up for Sharps, and kudos to Sharps for this is north and south running when you understand the assignment. It's 3rd and 3. Let's go. Let's just go.
Sharp's able to pick it up easily. And one of the things that I think really sells this too is JSN out on the outside, because one, with them being in shotgun, as soon as the ball is snapped, you have JSN taking that step back to line up behind his potential blockers. And so as your safeties, you're thinking, and maybe even the linebackers that are a little bit off the ball, they're thinking, okay, could this go to the opposite side? Could this be a nice little JSN screen toss? And that helps give that just a little bit of deception to this play too.
Love that. Let me actually pull it back to this one so folks can see that. JSN is top of the screen. Really cool call out. And in a day where he doesn't have a huge stat sheet number line, love JSN's talk track after the game. Unfazed by it completely. And I would expect nothing less from JSN, but really cool that, maybe it was a bubble screen with the trips left. And like you said, just hold those safeties for 1 millisecond. They already have the first down, but you get maybe two and a half more yards because of that little bit of a hold. So good call out there.
You love the finish too by Abe at the end of this play, because as soon as the defensive lineman turns to his left, Abe says, you know what, you're just going to go to the ground now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's a nice seal on the edge as well. I think it's that Barner or Caller up. I can't see from here, but that's okay. It's like not the most amazing seal, but it does the job. Again, it's 3rd and 3. You don't got to be perfect. You just got to be good enough, and it's a good play call. So loved seeing this. This does not end up resulting in 6 at this point. We end up with a field goal, but it's a-okay.
I
It's
don't think you could point to a red zone possession that turned into 6.
Yeah, correct. Well, I liked it a ton, so much so that we highlighted in one of our top 6. All right, we got more ins to churn through. Let's do it. Oh, I like that every time. All right, in number 4, we're calling it Sweep the Leg. Now, the big clue here, if you can recall, is how we started the second half. Obviously, we're up 13-0. We get the ball. That was a great job to defer. I'm usually not team defer. This season I am. And if you're home versus a rookie quarterback, lovely time to defer. Love that so much. So it is the first play from scrimmage in the third quarter. 1st and 10, we're on our own 20. They kicked a little dirty ball, and Shaheed had to down it in our own end zone. So that was well executed by the Vikings. Do you recall where this ball is going?
I don't, because if I'm thinking sweep the leg, I'm thinking of the decision to then go for it on 4th and 1 late in the game to close it out rather than kicking another field goal.
Gotcha.
Because that to me that feels like a sweep the leg type moment. If we're making Karate Kid references.
Gotcha. Well, we are. We certainly are. But no, it's a little bit more on the nose. Sometimes it's a
this is just a sweep play to K9.
This is a sweep left. This is a student body left, and really good blocking here. I got on Calrup's case if it wasn't oops all outs. I got on Calrup's case for one particular play. However, on the rewatch, there were multiple plays where Barner and Calrup are doing their thing. This is one of them, and of course, the Sharps run is another example where the duo does a really nice job. Look, man, the student body left to get K9 into space. I'm all about this. This is almost the one that almost,
yep.
Brandon, we almost had, an 80-yard dash to the house. It does feel, let me know if you feel it too. It feels like one of them's coming in the next couple of weeks. Maybe in the fast track in Atlanta, we'll get to see that, but it feels like K9's going to bust one of these. And it feels like we're incrementally getting better with our run game. What do you think?
I feels that way. It's also, this is a nice redemption play to point out for Zabel too, because watch him turn his guy and put him on his knee on this run play. So it's kind of away from the play, but he absolutely dominates this rep.
Love that. All right, let's flip it over to this screen here as well, to the Madden look. This is what I love here is you really get to see K9's just his specialness in a little bit of space, but it's well blocked up. Nice wall there. Tight ends doing their job. Who is that out on the edge? Is that Zabel out there? Turn? No, that's Cross.
Okay, Cross is there,
and that's Barner.
Yep.
Okay, Barner. Okay, cool. Sorry, my peeper's not on, but that little look at that right there. The little.
Yeah. I think it's Barner that's pushing the DB down to the ground in the backfield, and then Callerup who seals the edge there that allows K9 to get around the outside and then pick up some speed.
I love it. I just paused it here for those that are watching on YouTube. Obviously, if you're on audio, this particular show is more geared towards your eyes. So please hop on over to youtube.com/Seahawks
This is a great
podcast.
Shot of Zabel though too, of him working
completely
his lineman here completely.
Yeah, and this is kind of neat too because it's a K9, choose your own adventure at this point. He could have turned it up in that hole right there. And it's probably like, hey, you're still getting yards, but
51's there and you're going to have to go through him.
Yeah. So it's probably be a couple of yards, but the specialness I pause it right here. The specialness of K9 is like the next, 1/8 of a second. So keep your eyes on him and then boom. It's just this guy's something else. He does get dragged down by his hand. That must have hurt, but almost gone for 6, and it would have been an 80-yarder. But Brandon, man, I think one of these is brewing, man. I really do. And I mean, maybe call the shot early. Maybe we get a 40, 50 plus house call versus them dirty birds. What do you think?
I would like to see that. I've also liked to see what Marlon's saying here, seeing a stat that we went from bottom 10 in most rushing stats from game 1 to 9 and now top 10 the last few weeks. Kind of answers Derek's question too. Does the Vikings defense being good validate our running play success? Or are we almost there offensively regardless of who we're playing? I think it's probably a little bit of both, right? This is definitely something validating to build off of with the Vikings defense. but still, you can't come away from this game thinking that we're completely there either.
No, it comes in waves, but a couple of weeks ago, we put up 27 pretty seamlessly versus the Texans. And since then, every team is basically struggling. Texans are noted to be probably a top 3 defensive unit. So even against the Rams, we put up a lot of yards against the Rams. Yes, we had the turnovers. The turnovers, they killed us. But we put up 400-something yards against the Rams. By the way, really good job by Carolina. Really good job by Carolina. Just kind of showing that blueprint, and that they're a pretty good team. So love seeing this from K9. And we got Chris Mohawk. Oh, Smokehawk Neslin, a member out on YouTube, saying the Vikings defense is very unique. No one else can play that way, but they can learn from it. Yeah, I think very few teams do what the Vikings do, and they got good personnel. They're a pretty darn good team. All right, that is the K9 sweep the leg. Love that. We have 2 more regular ins. We got the BrandIN. We've got the NBC. We've got From the Flock. Before that, let's whammy.
Today is the first day that I've noticed that Smokehawk's last name is Neslin.
Neslin, yes. He'd been called him Nelson for about a couple of weeks. I agree.
Forever. I've called him Nelson forever. I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh, that's great. Well, you know what? That's why he goes by Smokehawk. That's
easier. That's much easier for me.
Yeah, some people just call him Smoke, which is great. So, speaking of like some smoke, right? A little cloud of something. I'm dubbing this one 4 yards and a cloud of soul. We all know, 3 yards and a cloud of dust, of course. That little saying from that of course is attached to football, but 4 yards and a cloud of soul. Q3, 12:04 to go in the third quarter. Our Seahawks are enjoying a 13-0 lead. It's about to get to more than that. 1st and 10. Seattle is on Minnesota's 45. If we're talking about taking souls, who do you think we are now talking about?
Ooh, K9 took a soul in this game. I saw that. Who else? I feel like, gosh, there's so many choices because, Ernest Jones had like 8 stops in this game.
I think it was like 12. Yeah, he was insane. And the funny part is we will talk about Ernest Jones in the From the Flock section. There's a lot of love for Jones, which should be there. The perfect person to not say a word for traditional 3 in, 3 out. He's like the poster boy of let's not even talk about you. That's how good you were, Ernest Jones. But we are talking about K9. Not that it's beast mode, but this is the stuff that fires me up, man. He gets the edge. By the way, I think it's the same exact play, but the mirror image. Toss right. It's not as well blocked up, right. And the corner crashes down.
There's Bradford laying on the ground partway through the
play. No, you don't say. But at the very end of this play, and I love how K9 is. Look at the other angle here. I love how K9 is so fired up because he understands. He understands what this does. I mean, he just trucks.
It's not normally K9's game either to go through guys the way that Marshawn looked to initiate contact, which is fine. It's just they're different dudes. Mm-hmm. But when you see Kenneth Walker make that choice and because he's going outside of the outstretched arms of 43 and then 2 is just waiting there and he puts his shoulder down and goes right through him.
Yeah, and I think 2 is Rodgers, who had like that insane start to the year, if you remember, where I think he scored 2 or 3 touchdowns, or I think it's Isaiah Rodgers. But and then Rodgers, I think gets hurt in this play, so I hope the dude's okay. I think he had to leave the game. But
his soul left him momentarily. He came back in. He's fine.
And in the Discord, you posted that amazing Tom and Jerry cartoon where is Jerry the cat or is Tom? Jerry's the cat, yeah, or is Tom the cat? I forget.
Tom is the cat.
Maybe that makes sense. But either way, one of the two.
He's at the bottom of the escalator.
Yeah, yeah.
And his soul is leaving his body.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Isaiah Rodgers. That was Tom.
Rodgers. There you go. So this is great. Every time a soul is taken, we're going to celebrate that on 3 in, 3 out. And it's not often that you get to take a soul while you control the football. So this is something we're really gonna really lean into. So anything else about K9, the running game in general, this play, anything else you want to add to or say?
I just want to point out that Shane Turner Acoustic has the excellent mnemonic device of remembering which one is the cat.
Yeah, Tomcat. and Jerry Mouse. Jerry the Mouse. I'll go with that. But I guess if you remember one, then the other one's the other.
It should should be self-explanatory at that point.
Yes, a little deduction. Perfect. So that is in number 5. We got one more regular in. And if you don't know me by now, well, then I don't know what to tell you. We've been doing this for many, many years. This is the exact type of thing I want to see from my team. Let's whammy. Let's check it out. Okay. You called this out in the live reaction show, which, by the way, if folks are watching this and you did not watch the live reaction last night with you and Adam, it's awesome. I watched it today and produced it last night, watched it again this morning, chock full of some really cool observations. And you talked about this play. I call it peel it on. Obviously, another stretch there, Brandon, from pile it on. But it's Q4, so the game's over. It's 6:47 to go. We're now up 26-0. At this point, it's just like, will we or won't we get 6 ins? Will we or won't we get the shutout? 1st and 10, Minnesota's on Seattle's 41-yard line. This is where they bust out that big run. And Brandon, why am I highlighting Brandon Peely?
Oh, because you love when a teammate does the right thing when he's defending another one of his teammates.
Absolutely. This is the hockey player in me, right? So the clip was so long, we had to just cut to the point here. So I think it was is Jordan Mason at this point? Oh, was he out? I forget who. I think it's Jordan Mason. Doesn't really matter.
Yes,
but
it was Jordan Mason.
Okay, he's carrying a bunch of Seahawks down the field, and to the Vikings dude's credit, the lineman, he's way downfield, but he takes a cheap shot. I think this is on purpose, and I think it's cheap. And he puts helmet-to-helmet contact with Josh Jobe. Josh Jobe had to go get checked out for a concussion. But watch Brandon Peely come to Jobe's defense. This is what a teammate should do in any sport you're in. If you see your dude get hit in a way that just doesn't sit well with you, well, you take an action. So see at the end here, Jobe just gets rocked, and then Peely just tosses him. Absolutely tosses him, which is really cool. And it's just instinctive. And he's not trying to hurt the dude. He's just trying to make a point that, no, you don't do that to my guy. And everybody in blue on this field, they're all my guy. And another good angle here. It's actually a little bit better at the end here. So again, I really do think this is kind of cheap. And boom, that's a big man just really just doing in my opinion, kind of like hockey style stuff. You don't hit a dude on your team like that. So love it. Kind of decks him.
Blake Brandel coming down there and taking the shot at Jobe.
Oh, okay.
And yes, that is Brandon Peely, who is not putting up with it and puts him almost on his face. Look at him right there.
Yeah.
Brandel goes, maybe I won't do that again. Although he gets up and then tries to get into it with Peely. And I think he ended up taking a shot at him, which if they weren't flagging him on the Jobe hit, they may have been flagging him for the retaliation of Peely putting him on the ground.
I think the story goes, I think it's a different Viking that ends up with a 15-yard penalty on this play. I don't think it's Brandel, but somebody comes to his, rescue on the other side, which is again, probably what you should do as well. And at this point in the game, it's 26-0. So just whatever, stand up for your dudes. But that's not easy to do. Peely just moving him like this I know he's not expecting it, but to really lay a dude out like that. And obviously he's a lineman you're moving like a 310-pound body. I was impressed by it. And whatever people might say, that's not football. It is football. To me, this is all this is what you do for a teammate.
Love it.
Yeah, me too. Well, that was our ins. Those were our 6 ins, but Brandon, as you know, we're not done. When we win, we not only start with an in. Yes, it was all ins today, but the other part of this, of course, is that we get the lovely BrandIN. You get to serve it up to me. What do you want to talk about? And why did you hit that whammy so we can begin?
Just because you get 6 ins doesn't mean I get to be robbed of my in.
I agree.
That wouldn't be fair.
I totally agree. So what is the in that you would like to talk about?
All right. My play that I would like to talk about is one that Mike McDonald was raving about after the game, calling it his new favorite play. And I kind of suspected because, Demarcus Lawrence, he's one of the stars on the team. He might not get the shine. And, sometimes we don't necessarily call out turnovers either. But this play, this may not be the play that I was thinking of.
Oh, wait, but you wanted the chop play. You wanted
yeah. So
okay. Clip
we can
the wrong
talk about
play.
this one here too, because he does a great job running down the quarterback, Max Brosmer. But no, the one that I believe Mike McDonald was saying was his favorite play was the one where D-Law comes off of the edge.
Yes.
And I think it was the Minnesota running back.
Yep.
Aaron Jones, who he just gets it was the epitome of a play of turning an out to an in, because D-Law comes around the edge and he gets just thrown backwards by Aaron Jones and into the ground. Well, Jones ends up catching the pass, running down a few yards, and you see Lawrence just speed burst from being completely on the ground to coming from behind and swatting the ball out, getting the fumble. The Seahawks get the fumble recovery, and it is because of that, turning it from an out to an in one play, is also why I think Coach Mike McDonald called it his new favorite play.
Love that. My bad. You texted me it, and for some reason I went to this one, so I clipped the wrong play, so that's on me.
Two great plays, though.
Two great plays.
50-50 shot.
Yeah, and I missed. So it was. I chose poorly.
Hey, you didn't spill White Claw all over it.
Not yet. But no, that was awesome because, like you said, in the play that you wanted to select, he's kind of washed out, and on the on the TV copy, he's like off screen because he tries to get
10 yards behind Aaron Jones,
and he comes down with like some righteous fury, man. Like, oh my goodness, like it is when we signed Demarcus Lawrence. I mean, this was the exact upper ceiling of what we were like, okay, look, our basic talk track of Demarcus Lawrence was like, hey, this dude's a pro's pro. He is strong as heck. And even if he doesn't get any pass rush going, because that had diminished throughout the years, he's still one of the best edge setting run defenders in the entire NFL. We're like, just that alone, sign us up. Like, that is such a valuable chess piece. Now, he gets his 5th sack in this game. He causes the interception we were looking at, and then gets that, what does Coach Mike call it about that type of effort? Shocking, right? The shocking effort. I love that vocabulary. It is the epitome of the shocking effort, Mike McDonald chasing edges thing that he has going with this team. So kudos to Schneider, kudos to Dirty for helping bring him in, and of course, just kudos to D-Law. D-Law's he's beyond like, oh, that's a nice piece, and he's become in 11 games. What do we have to got now? 12 games. In 12 games, he's become a leader of men out there, and that's not easy because this group is chock full of alphas, and amongst them, you got a dude like D-Law, BrandIN. So I love that you called him out there. Yeah, dude, I would put this into that huge category of like shocking effort.
Oh, hey, if I get to pick two ends, can I pick this other one with Demarcus Lawrence where he causes this fumble where Ernest Jones is able to return it for a house call? Because one of the other things that Coach Mike says is that ball finds energy.
Yes.
And one of the things that he pointed out on this play is that, here's D-Law going backwards, but Jones, he doesn't just accept that Brosmer's going down. He has his eyes on the ball this entire time. And so when it goes up in the air, you heard Jones after the game going, I didn't think he was going to throw it.
Right.
And then he did, and then he had to run 85 yards into the end zone. So
yeah, I love it.
Ball loves energy. That's what it is. And
I clipped this because I just thought, like, of all the, like these dudes, the guys who are in the NFL, right? They have been. They were the absolute, from I'm sure 99% of them, like the absolute superstar in high school, and for the most of them, absolutely outstanding college players, right? Obviously, many of them have different paths to the NFL, with all that, like all that work, all that time put in, everything they got to do, can you imagine a better feeling than like what that must feel like as an athlete? Look at D-Law. Like, look at that. Like, this must feel so freaking good at home.
Don't forget Woolen as we're watching this play
I know.
too.
Yeah, right.
He is chasing down EJ4, trying to beat him to the end zone.
Yeah, it's a race. It's just tremendous, right? This is what gets me goosed, man. I can only imagine what that feels like. I know what it feels like for me as a fan who could watch this from my couch in Connecticut. I can imagine what Lisa and Amy were feeling because they were in the stadium at Lumen yesterday, and then I can only imagine what it must be like if you're D-Law and you just start putting your hands up. You're like, I did that. Like, I caused that, and you get to celebrate with your teammates. That was absolutely awesome. Hey, Brandon, you know what's better than one Brandon?
Two.
Two Brandons, better than one. It's all ins. What can I tell you? New rule.
How many MVCs do we get? 3,
No,
4?
One MVC. They take me too much time.
I did not prepare enough MVC trophies.
We don't have sheer materials, right? We don't have it. We don't have the materials. But new rule that we will decree in a Seahawks shutout. Not only do we get all ins, of course we get the BrandIN, but we get double BrandINs for shutouts. So let's get another one this year. Why not? Let's you know what? We don't usually whammy for the MVC, but let's whammy. Do all ins. Okay. No. I still love the ending of that. All right. So
you just wanted to hear the manual whammy.
I love
inserted in there again.
It just reminds me of Patty and Selma, and then I smile, and Jub, of course. All right, so the MVC, the most valuable cranny, we mentioned earlier. This is the very real trophy that we print, we 3D print, and we ship off to the VMAC. We of course get the engraved placard, and this year we started creating the commemorative trading card. So look, I'm not even sure this guy has an MVC this year. He might already. Someone's got to go back and look at the ledger. But boy, oh boy, I have to give it to Drake Thomas, man. I had a lot of fun creating this one. So Drake Thomas, for being a knife-carving, heat-seeking missile who continuously blows up run plays. November the 30th, 2025, Week 12, 26-0. Drake Thomas is the Week 12 MVC, our 9th MVC of the season, because winners get sprinkles and winners get the MVC trophy.
You know what? He might even get some kind of trophy from PFF, because as I look at his grades, he had a 90 overall grade, which is in the elite category. Demarcus Lawrence did take the #1 spot. But one of the things that you don't see very often is scores above 70 in every single category. He has a 90 overall. He's got an 80 run defense grade, an 80 tackling grade, an 85 pass rush grade, and a 75 coverage grade. So
Jesus.
For a linebacker, you don't see that very often.
No, you do not. And that's just the way the dude's been playing ball. He's been absolutely delightful to watch, Brandon. He really has. He went from a fringy, will he make the roster, to he has become a fabric of this team in many ways that it'd be difficult to imagine the team without him at this point. This is no knock on Tyrese Knight. When Tyrese Knight had to step in and play, he played awesome. And if EJ's got to take a week off and it's Tyrese and Drake, or if O'Connell's got to come in with Drake, feeling very, very bullish and great about this linebacking core that went from maybe something that didn't seem to have a lot of depth in the preseason, all the way to a point where this is a strength of the team. I mean, the whole defense is the strength of the team, but Drake Thomas in this system is chef's kiss. He's been killing it. So
if Drake keeps this up, I may have to get another throwback number 42 jersey, because I have my Chris Warren number 42. And while I can't do the thing like some people do it and take a piece of duct tape and cover it up over a former player's name, because Chris Warren was like my dude awesome. In high school. So, but I might need to get a Drake Thomas jersey.
I was literally thinking about that today in my kitchen. I was like, man, a Drake Thomas, like a throwback Drake Thomas would look really good. So my favorite I'm an Islander fan, New York Islanders of the NHL. Again, I grew up in Long Island, so I'm an Islander fan, Mets fan, but luckily, not a Jets fan. And obviously rabid Seahawks fan. My favorite New York Islander growing up was number 32, Steve Thomas. And it was pretty cool. I remember being in my 8th or 9th grade cafeteria, and a girl walks up to me and she's like, why do you have your first name on your jersey? I was like, oh, no. She didn't know who I was. I was like, no. This is the player. And I explained it. So it'd be kind of neat for me personally to have another Thomas jersey, because he is quickly becoming one of my faves. Maybe you and I could get a jersey and we'd be twinsies. What do you think?
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right.
We've got Nate Shute saying we are going to have to pay Drake. One of the nice things is that he is going to be a restricted free agent this offseason.
Nice.
And so you get that nice restricted free agent value contract. But hopefully that they can factor that in and just pay the dude long term at this point.
Lock them up. Well, speaking of pay or paying it forward, or the idea of support and gifting, BrandIN, if folks want to have so much fun with us, we're about to hit From the Flock, where we go through our Discord ins and outs. If they want to join the reindeer games, what should they be doing?
If you want to support our efforts to get twin Drake Thomas jerseys, you can go to getintheflock.com. You can help support the show, and you can get into our Discord as well. So that way you're getting value out of it. We're getting value out of a new Drake Thomas jersey. You're getting value out of being a member of the flock and joining us on game day as we chat and follow all the games. And yeah, if we ever do any meetups like in Alaska with a live executive producer, you'll get to know when we're doing that too.
Yeah. Or if we happen to be heading to Australia potentially next year, if the Seahawks head to Australia potentially next year, you could join with that as well. Also, I got to give a big shout out to my boy, Johnny Parmesan, just because we are in the Guillotine League together and we're fighting for our lives tonight. So Johnny, we got this, bud. All right. So folks, we of course now have the From the Flock section. We explain what that is. BrandIN, if you want to take slide number 1, please go ahead.
Yeah, one of the benefits of being in our Discord, we have this 3 in, 3 out channel, and you can leave your ins, you can leave your outs. We've got a lot of ins, but we do still have some outs, and we're going to start off with Car saying, in Michael Jackson intercepting Stafford for us. Even as a Panther, he's still a Seahawk.
Love it.
And we've got Rising Hawker saying, in F the Lambs. Car saying, big welcome to the NFL moment for the rookie from Leo. Right hand Dan with the in. Defense not playing down to this offense. No, they weren't. They were shutting them down early. And Paul King saying, in the 12's getting loud. Also, Amy just posting a picture of Ernest Jones. I know she was rocking her Ernest Jones jersey at the game. Yes. And Paul King saying, 100% Clinton has already logged this one out. Bradford blocking the invisible man while Wilson gets a free run to sack Darnold.
Yeah, we didn't talk much about Bradford's injury yet. We don't know much, except for McDonald said today, I think it was today on the Brock and Salk show, that, it could be day-to-day type thing. We'll see. It's an elbow injury. I thought Haynes looked pretty good. Again, to me, it's like, look, Bradford's limitations are when they try to go horizontal with him. And there's other limitations too. It's not all bad. It's like I'm trying to, crap on the dude all the time. When he goes horizontal, he really loses everything, like target, momentum, his power. Haynes, on the other hand, is pretty athletic. And some of the plays in which he was pulling or just getting down the line, he looked okay. So we'll see. Of course, I do have my UConn bias kicking in. That's the way it goes. And Amy, you must go to every Seahawks game now, and you must wear the EJ jersey, because that's the way things work. All right, we're going to rotate it over to, we got Bunny saying EJ4, the post-game conference. And Bunny was calling the shot, saying, I'm just predicting he's going to be fire. So good job by Bunny getting ahead of the curve. We got Frost, who is Ryan911, also affectionately known as Coach, into the Discord in K9, running with aggression, smashing dudes in the sideline. That's why he got that in. Back to Car saying Kobe was closer to the pick each time and finally came down with it. BrandIN, that Kobe pick, it hits his chest. It bounces in the air. I'm like, oh no. But he gathers himself and gathers that ball for that elusive pick.
Got Lloydzilla with the in. Job, perfect timing to hit Jefferson on their EJ4 second pick. EJ4 gets the pick. Job made it.
Mhm.
And Hawk Van Dyke saying, in playing Elton John's funeral for a friend into the commercial after the third INT. They also played, did you notice? The mystical magical Benson Boone, because Brosmer looks a little bit like Benson Boone, and they played a little Benson Boone out to a commercial to a headshot of Brosmer at one point. I thought that was kind of funny too.
Yes, a little funny.
Lloydzilla in, Callerup blocking his guy through the end zone on the Charbonnet TD.
I also thought when I was looking at the Brosman, that I was like, oh man, he kind of looks like evil C Mike spin move, right? Griff Sturgeon. I was like, if you gave Griff that devilish little goatee, but Griff would never. He's way too classy for that. All right, so let us rotate it over to this one. We got a lot on the screen here, and geez, I think I cut some of it off, but that's okay. We got That is Radical in. When O isn't clicking, Kubiak turns to the run game to get him back on track. Correct. In for Kobe Bryant, continues to play his way out of Seattle. Well, maybe not, right? We could always extend a player like that who maybe wants to stay, Thad. So I'd like that to be a bit more positive. In AJ Barner is awesome and invaluable. Well, I agree with you there. Out, obvious, but needs to be said. Darnold keeps finding ways to put the ball in harm's way. Sure. He took that shot to Arroyo down the right-hand side, but Arroyo's the bigger dude there. I didn't mind that so much. And the fumbles, I just don't put on a quarterback who's getting blindsided. But that's me. Out, how bad is Haynes? Well, he did end up playing. It was injury caused, so we might get to see it. And out, we probably don't win if the Vikings QB was competent. Maybe so, maybe not. I do realize that early in the match, Brosner was bad. Well, he's bad the entire time, right? So that is what it is. Also, Thad up there saying shutout means all ins. Oh, this is a row. I've got Zero Hawk and Paul King and everybody else saying, Frost saying, hey, it's all ins. And then if you look at Bloomy was very witty with his, of course. 6 ins, but he just didn't realize, Brandon, that it'd be a double Brandon. He didn't understand that.
He didn't even know. He didn't see it coming. We got him.
Yeah, we got him. And then we got the Lemon 1990 down below here saying in EJ just knowing where to be, which is what you pointed out, right? Which is great. He went to the ball. There's a couple outs in there as well. We got a lot to cover, but I want to stick to that in because all ins. Let's keep on rocking.
All right, we've got Nate Schutz with the in, using K9 in the pass game more. They got him involved early, and that was nice to see. Into Drake Thomas being one of the best blitzing linebackers in the league.
Yes.
Out for the offense, seeming unprepared for Brian Flores. Are we not reading the outs? I was.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can. It's okay.
And in for the Carolina Panthers, and in for our defense. Enough said from Josh DeHuman. Some offensive issues on Clint. Josh gives the out to Kubiak on that one. Right side of the offensive line. That's where the pressures are coming from. Darnold running for his life. In our run game was solid. In special teams, here's your trophy for one hell of a game. Jay gets one more week. That's kind of really a running gag inside our Discord, in that Jay's week to week on whether or not we keep him.
So one thing to watch out for as we begin to think about the Falcons this upcoming week, they are bad on special teams. Like, we've been really good. They are bad on special teams. Kind of cost them a game versus the Jets. Gross. All right, we got Rising Hawker in, Mike McDonald, first shutout. Yes. In Nwosu, Big Cat, Murphy, D-Law. I mean, just the EJ, touchdown, Woolen interception. Jason Myers making 4 field goals. Great mention of Myers. 2 50-plus yarders. We needed them. They were like, we don't want to give them field position. And, oh, by the way, this game's tight when he was making long field goals. Tight game. I love this from Hulk Hands in, Reek getting his stats while making sure fans got to feast our eyes on 4 more defensive downs. A little witty right there. Good stuff. And we got Living the Good Life saying in, credit to Sam for hanging with a lot of pressure and doing what was needed to be done, not forcing stuff, and basically saying he had a solid game overall. Actually, I think all things being said, what was available to Sam, I thought he played pretty well. And again, when you can run the football and your defense plays like that, fine.
When your defense is playing like that, I thought that the correct move was to, not try and pad JSN stats by trying to really take shots down the field, because that to me would have felt unnecessary, and you're putting Sam at risk behind the line, trying to get long developing plays. It was unnecessary at that point. Like Mike likes to say about a game declaring itself.
Yeah.
Once you knew that your defense had this game in hand, you let them go win the game, and you just let the offense, run the ball, spin some clock, and you take your field goals and points where you need it.
Perfectly said, dude. Perfectly said.
All right. Smokehock saying, has anyone noticed Tariq started using his full name again? I don't think he ever necessarily stopped. I think someone started using his nickname, and we all kind of ran with it. So
I like Jeremy.
If we need to just call him Tariq to get to performances, the better performances, let's do it. Jeremy Green, I will take these production notes. I'm skipping the outs from here on out.
Skip the outs. All right, all ins. Let's go. I'll take it. Northwest Gambit in, commitment to the run game. Right. JSN, jiggy with it. Lisa. And she says, in this big D for giving me the swag. To not be nervous. Right. So she could basically enjoy the game and just enjoy everything that Lumen had to offer her that day. In, giving an in for Sam because he never shat the bed, and and Flores was doing all the Flores things, right? I'm obviously paraphrasing a little bit here, but an in for Sam, which in a day where we're not going to talk about Sam that much, I love that from Lisa. She says, in, wicked blocking from our tight ends on the Sharps TD run. Great call. Nice duo. Not really duo from a style point, but block from Barner, block from Callerup, and Sharps does the rest. Great job. I like to touch my Bobo, saying into Reek Woolen. He went back to the nickname, but I won't read the out. But if you're watching on screen, you'll realize why it's funny.
I think everybody understands what happened on that play at the end,
yes,
and what may have been outworthy.
True.
But Stu coming in with the in. Teach tape blocking from Barner and Callerup on the Sharps touchdown.
Yep.
In for Jay Schnei not paying for Will Fries. I don't know. I think maybe it could have been an upgrade. Jeremy Evergreen, Mike McDonald calling the field goal team off the field and then rolling the offense back out to get the 4th and 2 that led to our only offensive touchdown. I think we needed that. And an in from Design Pete's Beach House, gifting. Yes, JSN Jiggy with it. Lisa gifting me an EJ4 jersey on the day he gets 2 picks. Hawkra through the roof.
Amazing, Hawkra. That's such a. First of all, that's an amazing gift. So Lisa, thank you. Like, we feel it. And again, Amy, you are, you kind of got to go all the home games now. It's just the way it is. It's okay. That's a cool thing you got to do. We appreciate you doing it for us. All right. We're going to end with the closer, Hawk Van Dyke, Bloomy, who now lives right outside the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. He says, in, blowing past our preseason over under win totals with 5 weeks left. Yes. In, first in the league with regards to point differential. Second's the Rams. First is the Seahawks. That's always a really, really good measure of how good are you. And in, the Sharks are eliminated. So the Cardinals, they're served their papers. They are officially out. While the rest of the NFC the NFC West all has 9 wins. But BrandIN with the Panthers taking their game versus the Rams, and us getting our 9th win. Niners get a week off now. We now control our own destiny, Brandon. Hey, if we win out and maybe the Bears lose 1 or 2 games along the way, that 1 seed is actually achievable, dude, which I don't know, man. Sign me up. I'm goosed for it. Whether we're 1, whether we're 5, 2, 3, 4, I think this team is well equipped to go win on the road, but it sure would be nice to go chase that 1 seed, dude.
Oh, we want the home playoff game. We want the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Every time we've had the 1 seed, where have our Seahawks ended up, Clinton?
In the Super Bowl, Brandon.
That's exactly right. So we want to go out and we want to get that 1 seed.
We do. It's been an awesome time. It's been oops, all ins, oops, 2 BrandINs. We had the Drake Thomas MVC. We had all the great contributions from the flock. And Brandon, who do we want to thank for the live super chats and the live producing?
Yes. Thanks to Amy for being a member for 33 months. Thanks to Shane Turner Acoustic coming in twice. Thanks to Ryan911 for his live executive producer donation. And I saw a comment here too, talking about what exactly happened with JSN. I think Adam and I are going to dig into that a little bit and into the next flagship show. So if you're curious what we see looking at JSN, why maybe you got shut down a little bit by the Vikings. Yeah, we're going to get into that in the flagship show a little bit later this week, so stick around for that.
That's what we call a teaser. And I think with that,
There's only one thing left to say.
go Hawks.
Go Hawks.